Call me a god.
Let's go! I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession. I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing. I got a God complex. Haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. Tear it up like I'm Jason. I see the world like it's ready for the taking. I see this place like a game I'm playing. Straight to the bank to collect my payments. No negotiations, it's my way, I was born impatient. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Hello guys, so today I'm going to review Scream 6. It was definitely a great film, like just the whole sitting in New York and everything. It was a lot of fun, just seeing flipping Ghostface chasing all the characters across New York. Just all the great scenes we got to see, like in the apartment and especially the train scene. Oh my god! Even when they're in the shop, like just so many great scenes. It's just, I have to say it now. I mean, I'm not talking about spoilers straight away. Like 2 minutes into the video, that's when I'll talk about spoilers. But yeah, I'm gonna say this now. The Ghostface reveal was a letdown. Yeah, because everything up until that point was like 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 quality from a Scream movie, but then when you get to the reveal, it's like 7, 6 out of 10. It's like so disappointing. Probably the worst reveals we've had in the whole series, in my opinion, anyway. Yeah, to the point where I like the reveal in Scream 2 more, and to me, I find the reveal in Scream 2 ridiculous. And Scream 5 was just obvious. Then there was the other one where I was just like, not bad. Yeah, didn't see that coming. But the other one, I was like, obvious. From the very beginning of the movie, I was like, yeah, that's a killer. But then this movie, it's just like, just no response. But yeah, I still enjoyed the movie up until that point. Like, it actually made me care more about certain characters I didn't like that much in Scream 5, like Randy's daughter, the Carpenter sisters. I mean, you can't even see him properly in this picture, but yeah. I mean, they definitely do a better job. It's just it's just the ending, because you know, I was really enjoying this movie. It's just the ending. Yeah, it could have been a lot better. But if I'm not thinking about the ending, it's a pretty good movie. Probably like 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. If you're not thinking about the ending, but if you actually include the ending, it's like 6, 7 out of 10. But I'd probably go with like 7 out of 10 at this moment in time. Yeah, that's what I'd rate it. Higher if the ending didn't exist, because the ending just ruins everything. But yeah, if you're just trying to ignore that part of the movie, it's a 8 out of 10 movie. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a lot of fun. Like so many great scenes. It's a lot of fun. And get to see Kirby again was fun too. Yeah, just all the characters, Gale. Just yeah, it was pretty good. And some of the new characters were good too. But yeah, I guess I'll get into spoilers. Alright, so let's get into spoilers. Oh god. But you know, I mostly have positives for like the movie up until the ending, because if you've seen the reveals, then yeah, you know, the cop and his kids, I thought it was going to do something really cool, since it was like an old looking mask, like it was going to bring back a character from the dead, especially when you start to see like them looking at all the old masks from all the previous killers, and there's literally a scene where you actually get to see all the original killers' knives and stuff, like Jill's, Woman's, just everyone's, Stu, Billy's, and you know how flipping Samantha reacts when she sees that. It just starts hallucinating Billy again. Yeah. I mean, I kind of had a problem with that in the fifth one when I watched that one, but in the sixth one, I don't know, it just works somehow. I don't really overdo it, where it's just like silly. Yeah, and then with I guess Tara, she's just trying to deal with what happened to her. And you know, Samantha's just so worried about her instead of herself, like trying to look after herself. When she goes to therapist, she just talks about her sister instead of, you know, herself. Yeah. But then when she opens up, like the therapist just want nothing to do with her. Probably think like, oh my god, is she gonna kill me? She might be crazy. And then like all the posts that have been online saying that Samantha basically orchestrated like the killings in Scream 5. Yeah, just all that stuff, like what she's going through. But then she's still trying to be there for her sister, even though like she should be like losing it, to be honest. Yeah. But then Tara, she's just trying to party and stuff just to get it out of her mind instead of thinking about it like how her sister is all the time. Yeah. But if you don't really open up about it, then you're never really gonna move on. So that's what I guess. So that's what Samantha's trying to do with Tara. We kind of open up the movie with that blonde girl who you see at the bottom right. Yeah, she's on a. I guess she wants to be on a date with someone like that. That Indian guy at the bottom left. Yeah, I don't really remember their names, but whatever. Like the guy from Budapest Hotel, which I watched yesterday. Pretty good film. Maybe I'll review that someday. It's pretty short, but it's a pretty good film. Yeah, doesn't disappoint me. But yeah. Yeah, he's just like on the phone with her, but then you find out that he's kind of tricking her. Like, he kind of changes his voice like in Scream 3. Well, does he though? I don't know, it's just the way how he does it, it's so weird. Well, they make me think like he changes his voice, but then he actually reveals to actually be him as a killer, and to reveal the killer straight away, I was like, what? Unless, you know, it's kind of like a cult thing, kind of like the previous killers. They just do it to add more to the stab films, really. Yeah. It's for him, but yeah. I guess the Ghostface doesn't really like what he's doing, and I guess that could eventually affect the current killer, the actual killer. So the actual killer ends up killing him, multiple stabs. Like some of the kills in this movie, they're okay. It's just I've never really been a big fan of the kills when it comes to Scream. That's probably the weakest part of the movies. Because the best thing about the movies is the Ghostface reveals, and when, you know, this movie had like such a disappointing reveal. Like I said, the cop and then one of Samantha's friends who was staying at their house. Yeah. And was it the guy with basically the guy at the bottom, the middle bottom next to the knife, who just screamed killer, but it wouldn't be that obvious, right? And Samantha being a killer would be stupid too, since they literally scream it so much throughout the whole movie. I mean, it doesn't like she doesn't have a crazy side. Like, it kind of unleashes a bit more in this movie. Yeah. Especially by the end, but yeah, to the point where they're making it look like she's going to be the next killer, but I guess not. She even wears the outfit too, but yeah. And I'm not really a big fan of her personality in this movie. It just makes me miss Sydney more, yeah, to be honest. Not really a big fan of Samantha, but I mean, she's less annoying in this film, because I didn't really like her. Like, the way how she treats some of the OG characters, no respect. Yeah, to the point where Dewey's like protecting her and dies for her, and she shows no respect back. I mean, she at least tries to save Gail in this movie, but it's not really clear if she dies in this film. Because before then, they kind of, when there starts to be killings again, like, I guess Gail goes over, flipping Samantha wants to hit her, but she dodges it. But then the little sister comes and actually hits her, but probably less impact still, because, you know, it's only Tara, she's pretty small. Yeah. Also, you've got the black guy from the fifth one who somehow survived the jock. Like, it makes no sense how he survived, and for him to flipping survive again, like, it's just a joke. He gets, like, stabbed so much in this film compared to, like, the previous one. I was like, okay, he survived in the fifth one, but in the sixth one, literally gets stabbed so many times, like, to the point where, yeah, he's dead. But then somehow, at the end, he's alive. Like, this movie's stupid. When an OG character gets stabbed like Gale, they're pretty much dead. But then when any of these newer characters get stabbed from the fifth one, they somehow survive. Like flipping Randy's daughter, because when it gets to the train scene, and she ends up by herself, and she can't really trust, I guess, that guy who just screams killer, you know, the guy at the bottom. You know, she does end up getting stabbed, and I'm guessing it's either the father or the sister in that moment, yeah, who probably is there. But then it just doesn't really make sense that flipping the son is there to help her when she gets stabbed by Ghostface, yeah, and it just vanishes. But that seems pretty well done though, yeah. It's just when you actually get to the ending and realise how dumb that scene actually is, that the son's actually helping her survive when he's actually a part of the Ghostface gang, like the family, because basically it's Richie's family from the fifth one. Why the hell would you base your Ghostface reveals on Richie's family when Richie was just such an obvious killer from the first 5 minutes of the flipping film? When you first meet him with Samantha, it's just stupid. Like, the most obvious Ghostface killer, like, is his family's the big reveal. Like, at least Scream 2 was more smart with how they did it. Like, yes, they had Billy's mum as the killer, but then there was also that other guy who was a part of the, the cast, the friends. At least that still had something to keep you guessing instead of all of them being all related and together. And that just kind of ruins the movie, yeah. Because I was already suspecting like one of them. Then I guess the girl, she ends up getting killed by Ghostface, but then that's all fake. And I guess the father was, in it the whole time, to the point where he's framing Kirby when she comes into the story, yeah. And I guess she kind of explains how she survives and where she got stabbed and stuff and how she coped with it. Sounds like she was in a coma for a bit. Then, I guess, to deal with what she was going through in her mind, she became a cop. But it seems like they ended up letting her go because she went a bit too far because of the trauma that she had from, Jill. So yeah, well, Charlie was the one who actually stabbed her. So, but Charlie and Jill, like the trauma that she had from them, yeah, it kind of changed her a lot. And I'd say to some degree she's the same character, but at the same time not the same character. It's kind of hard to explain her. But then when you have that scene with her and Randy's daughter, that was a nice scene. Just seeing them nerding out together with horror movies. Yeah, that was a nice scene. But as for Randy's daughter, again, and I'm not really a big fan of her. She's more annoying, and she just ends up literally stealing Randy's lines from Scream 2. If you've watched Scream 2 and then you just watched it, so you just like, she's just stealing Randy's lines. I mean, probably has those lines in Stab 2, like in the fictional movie, in the movie. Yeah. But come on, man, just using your dad's lines. So lazy. And I guess you can't really blame her for how she was acting when it comes to the person who she thought was the killer. Because he actually ended up actually being one of the killers, but not the one who was actually trying to kill her in that moment. It's just, So I guess she's not as bad when you know the whole truth, but she's still not that great of a character. Just a lot of these new characters, they're just not hitting like the old ones. Even from flipping Scream 4, they had better characters. Yeah, it sucks, man. Like, these new characters are just not that engaging compared to the older ones. And it sucks that girl isn't really in this movie, because if this is her last movie, it's just for her. She doesn't really get much screen time. She spends like a little bit of time with the cast, and then she's just by herself fighting Ghostface when he wins her, just saying stuff about Dewey and stuff, and then trying to kill her. She puts up a good fight, better than Dewey, but she ends up dying because she gets like 2 or 3 stabs, and somehow she's dead from that. When so many characters have been stabbed so many times, like, it's just a joke, and they survive. Like, what the hell? Especially Randy's daughter, like, how the hell does she survive? She gets stabbed pretty bad, to the point where she's pretty much done, but I guess it just walks away and stuff. It just makes no sense how those characters survived when they're like 100% dead. Where Gail, like, it seems like she still has a chance, because literally the flipping hospital people come and she has a chance to be saved, and they don't even reveal that she survives. Like, you don't even get to see like a grave or anything, so it's not truly clear if she's actually dead or not. So to me, she's not fully dead until they actually show her like in some degree, or like on news or flipping grave. Like, they didn't even show that. But with the cast that are here at this point, like, who's gonna care to even visit her grave unless they bring back Sydney? But then I don't want them to bring back Sydney, because they'll just probably kill her anyway. It's just, I get like Star Wars vibes with these last 2 movies. Not as bad, but with how they treat their OG characters. Like with Dewey, basically Han Solo, like with how he gets killed in Force Awakens, just a dumb death. And then like Scream, well, they don't really ruin Gale in this movie. I still like her, but she just doesn't really get enough screen time. And she does act smart, like how she used to, but then you can see that she has a bit of more of Dewey inside of her compared to like how she used to be. She was kind of like I have to say, a bitch in the older movies, but yeah. I just see a lot more Dewey inside of her, especially when they actually play the music in that to a certain degree, but to hint that Dewey's basically still with her. Those kind of scenes. Yeah, it's just not really the same when it's just her. Like, you don't even have Sydney at least. Yeah, and now she's possibly dead now too, and then I feel like they'll probably bring back Sydney just to kill her. But to me, like, Gail saying that she basically gets a happy ending and she's with family now, I'd rather her not come back really. Yeah, unless it's the final film and she survives. And that's what they're gonna do next anyway. I just can't really, cause man, I got so hyped for this movie, but when I actually saw the reveal, I was so let down. Yeah. Just being Rich's family, cause man, like I was loving this film, well, really liking this film, from the flipping party to the train scene, just all the scenes in the movie, like when they're on the ladders, and that Asian girl ends up getting killed, she just gets tossed off on the ladders. I mean, it's an enjoyable film. If I'm not really counting the Ghostface reveals, it's just because that's the most important thing in a Scream movie, and they ended up completely fucking it up. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, just they ruined it. Like the worst Ghostface reveal of all time. Probably one of the worst movie reveals of all time. Yeah, even Scooby Doo has better reveals. Like it's that bad. Yeah. Oh, and the way how they all get killed by Samantha, man. Oh my god. Like the dad's literally watching his family get killed instead of trying to help him. It's just like he's literally behind his daughter who gets shot in the head, and then that's when he just goes charging at her instead of flipping shooting Samantha. Like it's stupid, man. And then she just ends up stabbing. Like it's flipping JoJo, but with a stabbing stance or something. Like oh my god. Yeah. And he's somehow still alive after all that to even say one last thing to her. Then she stabs him in the eye. And she's like wearing the Ghostface outfit. She was basically using her voice and everything, to show that she's like, in a way, a Ghostface and could be a Ghostface. Yeah. Even Tara gets to kill one of them too. Yeah, I think it was the guy at the bottom. Yeah, I don't really remember the names because the characters. Also the boyfriend, I wasn't sure what I was gonna do with him. I guess he kind of ends up helping Samantha, even though Samantha thought he could possibly be a killer. To me, that would have been a better reveal. Depends on what they do with it, though. Yeah, it really depends. And when it came to the family, I thought like at first like, is it her family? Like, I was thinking what they're gonna do with that. Like, is it her dad? But then no, it's Witch's family, which is even worse because that's not really that entertaining. Because Witchy was a villain compared to the other villain, who was more interesting. But yeah, in Scream 5. And just Kirby, she also got more screen time because she was enjoyable. She ends up helping the characters, finding them a hideout. Then it gets to a point where Samantha just ends up like, oh, I can't trust you because you basically set us up. But then it was a cop who made that happen and all that. Yeah. But then she ends up I think she's the one to get the final blow on one of the killers, like the brother, like basically gives him the stew death, basically because you have all the items of all the Ghostface killers, even the knife that stabbed Kirby and all that, and you actually have the TV that fell on Stu, and I guess that's how Kirby takes out the brother anyway. Yeah. And just the ending where they make it look like she's gonna be the killer, Samantha, but then she just puts the mask down and just walks away into the sunset with her sister. And then credits, and if you actually stay until the end of the credits, you just get trolled by flipping Randy's daughter saying that there doesn't always need to be an end credit scene. Like, wow, after you gave me such a disappointing ending, that's how you end it with an end credit scene. Like, my god, imagine people staying. And I actually saw like a reaction on YouTube with people seeing that. It was like, oh god, like just sighing after, because probably they was pissed about the ending and then seeing that, like man, if I could play it I would, but yeah, I just don't know if I'd get copyright, but I don't know if I really care about that since this channel isn't monetized, so I'll see if I ever add it. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the movie. I mean, like I said, it was enjoyable for like the first and second act, but the third act, mostly just the ending, it was a letdown. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed this film. I don't regret watching it, but it's just the ending. We deserved better. I kind of, to a degree, I kind of wish we still had Wes Craven. Rest in peace, man, because he made great 4 films of Scream, man. Just The Nightmare on Elm Street and everything else he did. Like, he made great films. And yeah, I just can't really get hyped about these movies now. It's not like Doctor Strange 2 bad, where I literally gave up on watching Marvel movies, but it's to the point where I'm not going to get hyped for a Scream movie anymore for the people who are directing it right now. Since if I get too hyped, I just get let down. But I still enjoy this film. It's just the ending. It's shit. But yeah, Let me know what you thought, guys. Did you like what he did with the Ghostface reveals? Did you enjoy the film? And do you think Gale's alive? Maybe I'll make a video on that on my YouTube channel, but I'll put like a spoiler hashtag or something. But yeah, guess I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.